One of the proliferants that we use here orally is the Quintones. Rene Quinton, one of the founding scientists, he was up there during that time of Pasteur. Pasteur was the guy that was able to create pasteurization so that they could preserve wines, and then that went into preserving all kinds of things so that they can continue to have food products for a longer shelf life. That's called the germ theory. But the terrain theory was the French guy, Rene Quinton. And he has these sea vials that have been around over 100 years, and they're collected off of Spain. These giant plumes, which is, in my mind, like the lungs of the ocean. There's an isotonic that is a parasympathetic, or basically creates a rest and digest state in your being underneath the autonomic nervous system. So it's very calming. And so for that type of thing, the patient, before they ingest this, and while they ingest it, they'll put it in their mouth for 30 seconds, and it has a very calming effect. And these have plankton and zooplankton in them, but of course they're all sterilized on the outside, so it's totally safe, and they're all sealed. That I just broke open the bottle. So what they'll do is I'll have the patient open their eyes, and I will drop some of the Quinton in their eyes. It's basically real saline, sodium chloride, but it's not man-made. It's from nature. And this has a very calming effect. I'll do it in both eyes. Over here. There we go. And so it can be a little bit startling for them. The patient themselves will take the vial at home, and then the same style, go and into the eyes. It hasn't touched anything, so other people can use it. Very cooling to the eyes. And then once the person has got it into their eyes, it's really good, dry eyes, stress, what have you, then I'll have the patient put it into their mouth, hold it for 30 seconds, and then swallow it. Put their lips around it, open it up. There we go. They'll hold it in there, and so that frequency has this calming effect on the body. So people will do it if they're having trouble sleeping or they're feeling nervous, what have you. The other one is the original hypertonic, and this hasn't been cut with any spring water at all. So it has more of that neti pot effect without using dry, very irritating salts. And since it is alive, it's very powerful. So even some of the toughest cases of sinusitis can be remedied with this proliferant. And what we'll do with this patient, we're going to open it up. We're going to open up both sides like a straw. And then we're going to go in, and you can swallow that, through the nose. And so the patient can also do this for themselves. It's much stronger. It's as if you're surfing or body surfing, and you get pearled over on a wave, or you get basically taken through the washing machine, and you get salt up your nose, and it cleans out your nose. So this is something that I give for people that maybe they don't want to take any supplements. Maybe they don't want to take any Chinese herbs. So we'll give these to them, and we'll have them at home. I have patients that will utilize this with their kids. If this is too strong, you can cut this, or you can use the isotonic, and it can basically clear the ear, nose, and the throat, and take down a lot of swelling, swollen tonsils, swollen throat, anything like that. So I'll open up both sides. Make sure everything's clear on both sides. Come around. And then this is 10 cc's right here. And I'll just release about one at a time. You might see Ben go, because it's very salty, but it's actually clearing the nose. And so sometimes the people that can't handle through the nose, they can drink it and it helps, but when it goes through the nose, it will affect your ear, nose, and your throat, and that's where pathogenic factor can occur. We'll have them breathe in. The right side feels pretty clear, but when that person, I think, were you saying that it's this side? So more than likely that side that is very commonly related to the stomach meridian that goes down there. Also, the small intestine meridian descends through here, and the large intestine channel goes through there, can relate to not just physical attributes of that organ that either descend or ascend up to the face, but also mental, emotional aspects, things like that. There's never any particular type of labeling. It's just the way that things are if you believe that the person is mind, body, and spirit. So now we're going to come over to the other side. I close the nostril. I carefully bring it over here, have him inhale. And so a little more congested on that side. I'm switching the hand to this side. Of course, my hands have been washed, so they're clean. And the patient's going at any time. If they need to sit up, they can. But what's great is that this is sitting back, and it's basically clearing out his nose like you do a neti pot, but in my experience, much more effective. Other side here. As a person gets used to it, you can use a little bit more each time. If this is for younger children, this might be too strong for them. Some people really love it. Otherwise, you can use the isotonic. You can do it as a ritual before they go to bed, and they really calm down if they're pretty wound up from the day. Over on this side. This side is opening up nicely. You can still hear it's a little bit more congested than the right side. So we're probably going to use the remainder, which is about 2 or 3 cc's left. This hypertonic, you do not put it in the eyes. The isotonic is okay to put in the eyes. But the hypertonic, you just want to either through your nose or drinking it. And we'll do another one over here. And that's it. He'll let it sit there for a moment. And this stuff is salty in the sense, not like that it's not bad salt, but some people might get a little bit thirsty. And so once a person sits up, we give them a tissue and they can blow their nose if they need to. But otherwise, we allow them to sit here for a little bit so things will come back into balance.